Huh. Got you guys. I knew I'd scare you, even after you clicked on this video, knowing it would be spooky. Also, if I sound a little different, it's because I've been congested, and I've been congested for the past couple of days. So if I sound different, that's why. Today, we're going to be figuring out what the best ghost type team of all time is. And once again, we've got a few to talk about. Last week, we determined that through everything, Lance actually had the strongest dragon type team in the franchise. But today, things aren't as clear cut. I think as we've gathered over time, that the black and white 2 Pokemon World Tournament teams are usually the best, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't give the spotlight to the trainers in other games. You never really know what you might find. So no more of this intro, let's get into the video and break it all down. We're going to start today in Alola for the Ultra Sun and Moon Elite Four rematch against the great Acerola. She is the ghost type representative of the Alola region, and as a character, she's fun. But as a battle, she's a bit of a pushover. Her team is Bayonet, Drifblim, Delmice, Frostlass, and Palossand. Kinda weird she isn't using a Mimikyu herself, but I suppose it is what it is. So this team isn't very threatening for the usual reasons. You can be overleveled big time in a rematch, and these are not all the best possible ghost types. She could have had Gengar or Mimikyu, or even had Mega Bayonet. But no, unfortunately for Acerola, there just didn't seem to be enough care put into her team being the best it could be. And thus, I'm throwing the dunce cap on her, saying she's got the weakest team of the video today. Next up, I want to talk about the Oras rematch you have with Phoebe. Her battle will see you taking on a Bayonet, Mismagius, Drifblim, Chandelure, Dustox, and a Mega Sableye. It's not that different from Acerola's match, honestly, but at the very least, you have a nice Mega on this team that can be a little annoying. I know for sure everyone has at least one story where they were annoyed by Mega Sableye, whether they had a fairy type move at the ready or not. Her Dusknoir is prepared to make good use of coverage and possibly get a nice Hex boost. But the rest of the team, sans the Sableye and Chandelure, just isn't as challenging. It's a shame too, because with access to Pokemon spanning all 6 generations, you could have gotten a little more out of this team, even if, say, a Mega Gengar isn't as thematically appropriate as Mega Sableye. It's a shame, but what can you do? The next team we'll talk about is Agatha's Elite Four rematch team in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. The team is only half ghost and mostly poison, but thankfully, having half your team representing the typing is enough to get you talked about in this video. So she's got a duo of Gengar and Alolan Marowak, Arbok, Golbat, and Weezing. This is already a bit better than the last 2 teams, though again, why no Mega? It is possible to do so in Let's Go, so I don't get why they couldn't at least have one of her Gengar Mega Evolve. Anyway, her Pokemon are the lowest leveled so far, but there is actually some decent variety. Golbat can get annoying with Air Slash, and the 2 Gengar have nice stab moves. I'm not too sure why they bothered giving them Sucker Punch, as that's a physical move, but a lot about Let's Go is a bit weird. You just aren't going to get too terribly much of a challenge here, whether that be due to how easy the games are, or just the fact that you're going to be so overleveled. I guess we'll be talking about Agatha during a hypothetical poison type video again. So she has that going for her. Very few trainers are actually going to make 2 appearances in these videos. So before we get into the true big guns of this video, we'll stop in Galar for Alistair's Galarian Championship Tournament team. He employs a Gigantamax Gengar alongside Dusknoir, Cursula, Chandelure, and Runerigus. So Gengar, of course, is the big threat on the team, being able to put your Pokemon to sleep with Hypnosis and then damage them with a couple of strong stab moves. Its Gigantamaxing can help it take a hit or 2 thanks to the HP boost, so taking it down right away can be complicated if you're not super overleveled. I'm talking like over level 85. I think if you're beneath that, Gengar might still be challenging. The other Pokemon he has offers some challenge too, like Cursula, which relies on a 145 special attack and 130 special defense to hit stupid hard while taking hits. You'll want to prepare a physical attacker for it, which isn't asking too much. But if left unchecked, it can use Amnesia and Strength sap away your power, allowing it to cripple some physical attackers. Naturally, I wouldn't worry too much about that though. Runerigus setting up Trick Room though does help out Cursula potentially, so be worried about that. Dusknoir is big on the coverage, and Chandelure is just a strong special attacker in general. When we step back and look at it, of course Alistair doesn't have the strongest team. He falls into that same position of having to worry about overleveled MCs like us coming through and wrecking him. But there is definitely more potential here on this team than with the others that came prior. So now we're only talking about Black and White 2. As is the usual pattern of things in this series. We start off with Chantel's Elite Four rematch team in the challenge mode. We talked about the Iris challenge mode team in our Dragon type video, and we were able to dig into the idea of challenge mode a bit there. These Pokemon have items, they've got a decently strong AI behind them, and even have the close to perfect IVs. It's a challenge, and in Unova, they actually decided to put some of the best ghost types on her team. She's got Cofagrigus, Gengar, Frostlass, Drifblim, Golurk, and Chandelure. A pretty decent mix of stupid strong special attackers, a nice physical one, and a perceived great wall. The Cofagrigus is that wall holding leftovers and running Will-O-Wisp in an attempt to further stunt physical attackers. Gengar, Frostlass, and Chandelure all are strong special attackers, with Chandelure even having a Choice Scarf, which will leave it totally outspeeding most of your Pokemon regardless of being overleveled. There is a lot of potential here to be a bit annoying. The always strong Flying Gem Acrobatics combo on Drifblim is a good one, and while Golurk is probably the least threatening Pokemon here, it can even blow off a great Earthquake that can hurt your Pokemon. This team isn't quite as good as the PWT teams are, but even then, I think plenty of trainers can have a hard time here. So the team that I think came just close to being the best Ghost type team today belongs to Morty in the Pokemon World Tournament. If you face off with this type expert team, you'll see his Gengar alongside Mismagius, Banette, Dusknoir, Chandelure, and Frostlass. So when we look at what two Pokemon work best alongside his Gengar to create the most threatening trio, it's gotta be Chandelure and Frostlass. When we start off with Gengar, it's going to be holding a wide lens while rocking out with Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Giga Drain, and Focus Blast for moves. Focus Blast will be a great bit of coverage for dark types, while Giga Drain offers some wonderful opportunities to heal. It makes dealing with this Gengar all the more difficult, knowing that it can hit Focus Blasts pretty easily and has nice stab alongside an ability to heal. Then with the Chandelure, it holds a Life Orb, and its Overheat and Shadow Ball just hit way too hard when it's holding that. It's a legitimately scary Pokemon to need to go up against, unless you've got a nice water type to tank hits. Finally, that Frostlass holds a Focus Sash, so it'll at least survive one turn. And with base 110 speed, it makes it very easy for it to pop off a Destiny Bond and absolutely throw a wrench in your team's plans if possible. Its Thunder Wave can make things more annoying too, slowing down Pokemon and potentially robbing them of turns. There are a lot of ways a battle with Morty under these conditions can go wrong for the player. But even then, his was just beaten out for the title of Best Ghost Type Team. Finally, we've got Fantina. She is going home, the big winner of today's video. Her type expert team in the PWT is led by her Mismagius with Drifblim, Jellicent, Gengar, Dusknoir, and Spiritomb behind it. I think it's pretty obvious that they managed to give her the most diverse lineup of ghost types you could have up to this point in the franchise, and it's pretty awesome. The two Pokemon you don't want to see lined up next to her Mismagius are definitely Spiritomb and Gengar. Though if Jellicent ended up in there too, you'd be in for a difficult time. So Mismagius has Calm Mind and Pain Split, meaning it can set up for big damage, but always have the backup with Pain Split if your Pokemon actually ends up chipping away at it. Psychic and Shadow Ball are a great duo of attacking moves as well, giving Mismagius the power it needs to serve as a good leader. As for Spiritomb, it's got no weakness, and can be set up with Nasty Plot. So that's already a scary scenario. Psychic and Shadow Ball are the moves it has, just like Mismagius, which means at least one thing. If you're coming into battle with a Dark-type Pokemon, then you're gonna have a much easier time overcoming her. You don't have any idea if you actually ever take her on or not, or which Pokemon she'll have due to the way the World Tournament works. But even then, a dark type is the key to beating Fantina. Gengar finally has a Nightmare Hypnosis combo that can cause the most aggravating time for any trainer. And if that wasn't enough, Thunderbolt and Shadow Ball back them up to help tear away at your HP while you're having some awful dreams. I think it's pretty clear to see why Fantina has the best ghost type team in the franchise. And while I was definitely not expecting her to be the one today, I think it's a pretty nice surprise. Well, that's it for yet another video in this series. The ghost typing had a fair amount of trainers representing it despite being such a small typing. But I'll tell you what, Morty and Fantina gave us a lot to talk about that is pretty awesome. I want to hear from you guys though. Did I get this one right? What typing do you want to see us cover next time? I'm interested to hear from you. Hopefully the next type we do has just as many interesting trainers. Welcome back to the outro, folks, your favorite part of the video. Thank you for enjoying another Mystic Umbreon video. We made it through the end of the 8th generation, and now we begin the long trek into late 2022 where Pokemon Scarlet and Violet await us. It's a whole new world we'll live in, but we still gotta catch them all. However, there's still a ton of videos to do and experiences to have until then. If you're interested in more Mystic content, check out my TikTok and the Mystic Umbreon Shorts YouTube channel. If we get the 10k followers on TikTok, I'll be doing a viewer's choice video. If you like Genshin Impact, check out my Genshin channel Teibachinary. So if you all enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. See you next time.